Hello and welcome to Zion Talks, pronounced Zion Talks or Zion Talks in English. Okay, so I am showing off Rabbi Michael Skobek's video series, because that's what it should be called, video series, where he debunks 365 prophecies that Christians claim are about their J-Man. Now, you can see by this first one, it's an hour and 6 minutes long. I'm not going to go into it. The next one is 48 minutes. The next one is an hour and 3 minutes. We got an hour and 15. He is taking his time, and he tells you exactly what the Christians proclaim. The platform that they use, if you don't know what a platform is, in debating, a platform is what you are supporting or you are against. In other words, it's your category, and the platform here would be Christians claim that there's 365 verses and prophecies that proclaim that the J-Man is the last Mashiach. So he takes his time in all this. I don't know how many times, probably almost 1,000, at least around 800 times, I have mentioned this series to Christians that I debate. There's no sense in me making this because Rabbi Michael Skobek did an excellent job, okay? There are so many people that are on the Christian side of things that believe all these easy to debunk lies. You can see here, Spiritual Babies is the main account that has this up there, but Rabbi Michael Skobek took his time and put it up. You see how many there are. So, it just goes on and on and on and on and on, okay? So, when you go into these, and you are proclaiming something like in Psalms it says, kiss the Son, and it's spelled S-O-N, you can literally, you don't need this, okay? But if you want to go into that, you can find it and go through these. I urge every Christian to watch this. Christians openly steal stories and prophecies about different people within different areas of the Bible, all kinds of books. They steal it and they say, oh, that was Jesus that did it. There are so many examples of this. They steal the prophecies of Agrippa. They steal the prophecies of Hezekiah, of Cyrus. I mean, it's insane. And you can go to the Bible and it will literally tell you the prophecies that are supposed to happen, and then it'll say, oh, well, Hezekiah did it, and God calls him his Mashiach that fulfilled it. But Christians, they don't care about that. They lie and they say, oh, it was Jesus, even when it says it was Hezekiah. So I'm begging you, pay attention to this. Now, there's no sense in me doing this. Now, I may debunk a couple of the prophecies, but there's no reason. Now, in a debate I will, but there's no reason for me to make a video when another person, especially a rabbi, has already made the video. I try to make videos on topics and on situations that you don't really see. I don't want to step on anybody's toes. A great example is I do not know of any video anywhere on the internet that properly brings up the halakhic ruling on Israel having slaves and being slave masters and getting into it. I made a full video. We bring up the actual references. We go over things to show you that Israel did not involve in chattel slavery, that the majority of the rules are that you cannot even raise your voice to your servants, your slaves. You cannot beat them. You cannot hurt them. There's all kinds of issues that the left or Muslims, Christians, and atheists run to, and they lie about everything. So I try to make videos that you won't see. So please like, share, and subscribe, okay? So there's no sense in me making these videos, but I'm showing them off here. Okay, Rabbi Michael Skobek is an Orthodox rabbi. He puts out a lot of really good videos. So there's no sense in me making this. Now, the when I said I probably mentioned these around 800 or 900 times, it's honestly the truth. I have not yet once seen a Christian who came back to me and said, I seen it, and Rabbi Skobek is wrong, and then we discuss it, and somehow he counters it or turns it into dust. Okay? You guys don't understand that when Jews and Noahides are arguing, that they will make an argument that cannot be countered. Let me give you an example. Another guy proclaimed that Jews in a Talmud story were doing wrong and in error when they followed the Torah. And I pointed out to him, so you're mad that Jews are following Torah? And he said, what do you mean? And he, like, this guy literally called them Satanists, literally called them the synagogue of Satan, and all kinds of anti-Semitic slurs. And I told him, I said, they're literally following Deuteronomy 13. He and I argued about Deuteronomy 13, and he had no counter. Because Deuteronomy 13 is so crystal clear, and it tells you that you do not follow anybody who comes to teach you something of the Word of God, whether they're a prophet, they claim they're a teacher, whether they're doing miracles, they're a dreamer of dreams. It can be anybody. They don't have to be a prophet or proclaim to prophesize in order to be a false prophet. A false prophet is one who speaks against the Torah and says, the Torah says this when it doesn't. That's what a false prophet is, and people don't understand that. It's laid out in Deuteronomy 13. There is no counter. The guy that argued with me flipped the script and started throwing a fit, screaming that he did not call the Jews in the Talmudic story Satanists. I pointed out in his video and his timestamp where he did. So I have yet to see a single Christian that I've ever debated say, oh, well, Rabbi Skobek said that the Christian prophecy of whatever, he says this, but he's wrong. I've never seen it. It can't be done. Because if it is done, then it means they didn't listen to it. Because Rabbi Skobek goes over the references to this, how you know for sure who this is talking about. I'm telling you, Christians do not know the last Mashiach prophecies. All right, so one fun fact about the last Mashiach prophecies is in every single one of them, the word Mashiach is not even used. Okay? Mashiach is used many times throughout Torah, but there's the main last Mashiach prophecies are not literally written, this is the Mashiach. It just says that someone from Judah will do these things. It says that a authority figure will do these things, and then he'll be king. It says things like that. And the crazy thing is, Christians never know those prophecies. I wonder why. The prophecies, there are 8 main prophecies. Now, some rabbis may say there's 7. Some may say there's 9. I'm going by 8 because the 8 main prophecies are repeated again and again and again, and they're in multiple books. So you cannot argue against one because you don't have one reference to it. It's repeated in multiple other books, at least the 8. Now, there's more than 8, but I'm just saying the main 8 prophecies. Christians don't even seem to know what a Mashiach is. A Mashiach is many things. It is an anointed one. This can be a Kohen. This can be a king, any of the kings. This can be a judge, and this can be a prophet. So if you had a time machine and you went back into time and you said in Hebrew to the ancient Israelites, hey, where's the Mashiach? I need to speak to Mashiach. They are literally going to reply back to you, which one are you talking about? Because they understand what Mashiach means, Christians do not. So the word Mashiach in Judaism does not mean Savior. It doesn't mean that. The Greek term Messiah, he's got up here, Messianic, And this is wordplay, and really rabbis should not use it. Rabbis, when talking about the Mashiach, the last Mashiach, or any Mashiach, should never call them Messiah. This is a serious problem. The word Messiah is a Greek translation from Mashiach, and it means something completely different. It's just like the Hebrew word Imanu, and then the English translation is faith, and Imanu does not mean faith. It's the opposite of faith. The opposite of faith. Imanu means it's a verb where you're thinking and doing. That's what it's a verb of thinking and doing. Imanu means that you are loyal to what you know. You cannot know something and have faith. If I come to you and I say, how do you know what your name is? You don't have faith that your name is whatever it is. You know what your name is. You have birth certificates, license, other certificates of identification you could show me. And you point out, this is my name. This is my name. It's not, this could be my name. This might be my name. Or this should be my name. Faith is an idea where you are always assuming. Faith does not have knowledge in it. It might have some knowledge, but there is a mystery involved in faith, and there is assumption and doubt involved in faith. So if I say something like, I have faith that the UPS truck will come between 6 and 7 p.m. to drop off my package, that's because I'm assuming. There's a level of doubt. Well, what happens when they come earlier and they drop it off at 9 or 10 in the morning? Okay, so if I see on my GPS that I've got a notification that the UPS is out for delivery, and I say, I know that the package is coming today. I know because I've been notified that the UPS has left to deliver it, so I know that they're on the way, but I don't know when. But I do know based off fact, based off knowledge, based off information. Okay? You can't do that with faith. There are many Hebrew words that when you learn them and you hear the English translation, you'll vomit, because the English translation waters it down, or in some cases changes it, and is even the opposite of what it means. This happens all the time. Another great example is in Hebrew. The majority of time that God speaks, he uses plural, because royalty uses plural. When the angels go down and they speak for God, they're speaking for God. They are the voice of God. Just like a herald of a king goes and visits, you don't say, oh, the herald of the king is in the village. You say, the king is coming, because the herald represents the king. Even though the king is not physically in the village, you would say the king is visiting. And when you go to speak to the herald, you don't say, could you tell the king? No, you speak directly as if you're talking to the king. You tell the herald, my king, I am so-and-so, a humble, whatever your profession is. My name is da-da-da-da. And if you're having a problem, you tell him. But you speak to the herald as if you're speaking to the king. The herald relates it back. It would be considered extremely rude and disrespectful if you keep saying, well, could you tell the king? Like, that's not the job of the herald, okay? The angels are many times speaking as the voice of God, because God, if he speaks, we see what happened with Mount Sinai. People's souls exploded out of their body. They died. It was painful to them. When God spoke again, they rushed back into their body. They couldn't handle it, and they said, Moses, it hurts us, go up to the mountain. So an angel will speak to a human rather than God in all cases except for Mount Sinai that we know of. Now, there's arguments at the Mashiach age. I personally believe that the world will hear God speak again. I personally believe that there will be a event where God speaks and the entire world hears it and knows, and they get to experience the pain of Mount Sinai, and then they won't assume, they won't have faith that it's God speaking. They will know it's God speaking. There's also an interesting point with the resurrection. Somebody who dies at 87 years old and they had cancer and they're ate up with cancer, or they had some other disability, they get resurrected the age that they died with the sickness, and then it's taken away. And the reason for this is that if they just resurrected and they didn't have the sickness, they would not have experienced the healing, and they might turn around and say, well, I was resurrected, but I didn't get healed too. No, you're going to get resurrected and then you're going to get healed. Okay? So it's a process, because God understands how humans think. God understands that we can see a miracle and then we can doubt it 15 minutes later. I mean, it happens all through the Bible. It doesn't even make sense if you follow the Hebrews coming out of Egypt to Mount Sinai, and then they become Jews, and then all the things that happen, even through the wandering in the desert. It's like several times you can point out where people were having problems, and it's like, dude, you're seeing massive miracles almost every day, especially when the manna fell and when the people were protected. They were seeing miracles every day wandering through the desert. Their clothes were clean. They didn't have to change them. They didn't have to wash them. Nobody really got injured. All of the poisonous insects and serpents and things like that were kept away from them. So it's every day they're seeing miracles, multiple times. The manna that fell down, they were only allowed to scoop up enough to eat that meal. They couldn't save it. They couldn't scoop up extras for later, or say, well, this is Tuesday, I'm going to scoop up some for tomorrow, Wednesday. Not allowed to do that. You had to live by the miracle every day. So I don't comprehend how Christians proclaim that a specific guy is the last Mashiach, and then when you ask them what are the prophecies of the last Mashiach, and they can't tell you. So if you want to get into this, I'm begging you to check out these videos. And he takes his time with all these. Okay, so this is just a video that I'm throwing out, and I'm pointing this out because I use this all the time when I'm debating, and I will use parts of it. It's very good material for those who debate, for those who love Judaism, for those who love Torah, for any of the Ben Noach, the Noahides. You need to learn this. You need to get it out of your system. The ideas of any false religion that you used to be in. Nobody leaves a religion and then on day 2 of leaving it, you're cleared. No, you're going to be thinking like those people in your religion for a long time. You're going to be dealing with a lot. In most cases, people get very angry at the Christian church because they realize they were lied to. They realize the entire religion has serious problems, and they wasted their life. Some people have been in Christianity for 70 and 80 years. I mean, it's a shock to your system when you find out it's all a lie. It's all a lie. Every bit of it. Every part of it. So I just want to point out this. It's great debate material if you want to take notes. The scheme that the Christians do is they find prophecies that are already fulfilled by other people, the majority of this, the 365, and they steal them. Well, what happened to not stealing? Well, they don't care. They don't know the commandments. I mean, so please, 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 check out these videos. I've used these for years. Now, it says it was published 10 years ago. He did his whole series. I've used these for years, and I've pointed people out to them. You can see the top one has 2,000 and probably 2,200 views. Go and check these videos out. It's a lot of material. Yes, make it into 2 weeks of your Torah study, and every day, put in one of these videos. Take notes and watch them. Watch them with your family. I'm begging the people who are Noahides especially, watch these. There are so many Noahides that do not have even the basic information. There are some Noahides that literally just left the church because they hate the church and no other reason. That's not a good reason to be a Noahide, okay? Being a Noahide does not mean being anti-Christian. That's not what that means. It means to study the 7 categoric laws and to understand them, to support them, to follow them. Okay? And you're going to have to get a rabbi. I'm sorry. I tell Noahides this all the time, and I get pushback. Some people want to be a Noahide and not have a rabbi. That is a recipe for disaster. That's the majority of the people that I knew that did this. You know what happened to them? They became atheists over time, or they become an anti-Semite because they don't want to get involved with the Jews. They don't want to get involved with the rabbi, and they become misled. And believe it or not, there are cults of Noahides out there that are doing absolute wrong things. If you are following anybody that tells you that a Noahide can follow Shabbat, run from them. They are 1000% a false prophet. If you run into somebody that tells you that a Noahide can put tefillin on, run from them. Okay? Now, I'm not talking about the prayer shawl. There's nothing wrong with the prayer shawl. If you see people that tell you that Noahide should get a yarmulke or, well, a yarmulke and put it on and wear it all around town, run. Because now they're putting you in the sin that has a massive curse with it. God finds the Gentiles that lie about being Israel, and he punishes them severely, like the black Hebrew Israelites. Those guys are all Those guys are all Gentiles. None of them are Jews. They don't know anything about Jews. They don't know anything about Israelites or Hebrews. Okay? The black Hebrew Israelites openly are super anti-Semitic. They're crazy. They're psychotic. They're murderous. You can see video after video of these guys just doing immoral things while they proclaim to be the chosen of Israel. When you ask them what is the job of Israel, they don't know. They have no clue. And the majority of them, oddly enough, are Christian. But there's a curse among Gentiles that if they proclaim to be a Jew when they are not, it's bad news, guys. So, like, share, and subscribe. I'm just making this short one. Take care.